The Flow Sports Radio.
Matthew Shack and the Flow Sports Radio Show, episode 56. NBA playoffs started off without a hitch over the weekend, and we ain't gonna even cut any corners. We're just gonna get right down to business. Hope everybody had a happy Easter like we did. We did what we needed to do to celebrate, but we also made sure we watched plenty of basketball. So let's get right down to it. The world champion Cleveland Cavaliers went up against the Indiana Pacers and barely came out by the skin of their teeth with a 109-108 victory. Basically, at the end of the day, it came down to a last-second shot from C.J. Miles, who finished with 5 points. That don't make no sense. You know what I'm saying? Paul George was killing them. He was killing Kyrie Irving and LeBron James. He ended up with PG had 29 points on 9 and 19 shooting, but he was 6 of 8 from threes. The boy was on fire, man. But as you always know, LeBron James finds a way to get it done. LeBron James ends up with 32 points. Kyrie Irving ends up with 23. Kevin Love throws in an additional 17. Channing Frye had 11. And we had some sprinkling here and there. And they were able to hold on by the skin of their teeth, man. All I got to say about that is, man, Paul George got to get the ball, man. Everyone talks about how Paul George ain't a superstar. He's just a star. He obviously is being held back by the Indiana Pacers, man. Because there's no way in hell C.J. Miles, a player who shot 2 of 6 for the game, 1 of 3 from 3, and had 5 points, goes away from the man who's basically keeping them in the game. You know what I'm saying? Miles Turner had 11, Jeff Teague had 15, and Monte Ellis had 11. But you got to get the ball to Paul George, man. That's all I'm trying to say about that. But once again, that might be the straw that breaks the camel's back. If Paul George can get himself out of there and get to LA, man, I hope he does. So I'll be right there watching that brother, man. We're going to move on and talk about the Golden State Warriors went ahead and put a drubbing on the Portland Trailblazers, 121-109. It was a very close game. It was going very well for Portland. They was tied at 88 apiece going into the fourth. But you already know what happens, man. Once Golden State Warriors start put that high octane gas into the gas tank, it's over and done with. You know what I'm saying? Steph Curry, he ended up with 29 points, and Kevin Durant's knee injury doesn't seem to be anything but something of the past. He ended up with 32 on 12 of 20 shooting, 2 of 6 from 3. Klay Thompson added 15, but Draymond Green, like I always say, my favorite Warrior, Draymond Green, he was the one that kept everything going. He had 19 points on 6 of 10 shooting. He had 12 rebounds and 9 assists and 5 blocks and 3 steals, man. That dude is a glue guy, man. Without Draymond, man, it doesn't go down very well for Golden State, man. They're the offensive and all that kind of situation. Yeah, they're the best in the game, but that defensive intensity comes from Draymond Green, man. On the other side, Portland Trailblazers, they did what they could do. They tried their damnedest. C.J. McCollum, he wound up with 41 points. He was on fire. Damian Lillard had 34. But at the end of the day, they didn't have enough firepower, man. In the fourth quarter, they couldn't buy a shot. So when you playing Golden State, man, you got to go full board for 48 minutes, man, because they're so explosive. You can lose, really quickly. Well, just because you ain't scoring any points, and that's exactly what happened going into the fourth quarter. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna keep it moving, man. We're gonna go ahead and talk about the Chicago Bulls beat the Boston Celtics 106-102. But the weekend was marred by Isaiah Thomas's 22-year-old sister, China Thomas, was killed in a vehicle auto accident in the early mornings before the game, and you can't do anything but send out your hearts and your prayers and your love out to Isaiah Thomas and his family. And it was a very tough situation, man. So I commend that brother for going in there and still trying to play. But at the end of the day, man, it was all about Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler had 30 points. Dwayne Wade had 11. Rondo had 12. Robin Lopez, so they had a solid thing going on for the Boston Celtics. But when it came down, for the Chicago Bulls, but when it came down to the Boston Celtics, man, Isaiah Thomas still showed up. He had 33 points. Al Horford had 19. And they did what they could do, man. Avery Bradley did what he could do. But at the end of the day, man, it was, you can kind of see that Isaiah was pressing. And why wouldn't he? You know what I'm saying? But once again, our hearts go out to him and his family. That's a very tragic situation, man. And like I said before, I commend that brother for going out there and trying to play. We're going to keep it moving. Next thing you know, we're going to have to talk about these Houston Rockets, man. Man, they put a shellacking on OKC and Russell Westbrook. James Harden ended up with 37 points. Patrick Beverly, who very much surprised me, was hitting a three. He was 4-6 from 3. He had 21 points. Clint Capella had 21. And they did what they needed to do. They got 15 off the bench from Nene. They're looking good, man. The Rockets are looking real good, man. Once again, when it came down to what needed to be done for OKC, it was like a one-man wrecking crew, man. Russell Westbrook, he had a very bad game. He was 6 of 23. He only had 22 points. Roberson had 18, and then that's when everything started falling off, man. You only had 2 starters in double figures, and that was it. You know what I'm saying? They couldn't compete, man. They got blown off the floor. You know what I'm saying? Fourth quarter, they was outscored 29-13. Hey, man, it is what it is. That's how it goes down in the town. You know, you got to have more than Russell Westbrook if you want to go somewhere, man. We'll move it. Go ahead and move it. Shooting from 3. You know what I'm saying? The Grizzlies and the Spurs, man. And San Antonio Spurs did the damn thing. They won 111-82 over Memphis Grizzlies, man. And even though Marc Gasol was doing his thing, man, Marc Gasol is really balling. He had 32 points. Mike Conley had 13. But that was pretty much it as far as the firepower is concerned. LaMarcus Aldridge had 20. Kawhi Leonard had 32. Tony Parker had 18. And you know, Golden State. I mean, I keep saying Golden State because every time I think of the San Antonio Spurs, man, I see that same offense. But San Antonio did what they needed to do. And let's not sleep on San Antonio, man. Let's not act like we don't see what they're doing. We're gonna keep it moving. The Washington Wizards hold off the Atlanta Hawks 114-107. They did what they needed to do. As far as scoring is concerned, you had Schroeder had 25. Schroeder had 25 for the Hawks. He's the leading scorer. Shorter? Man, don't make no sense, man. You had Paul Millsap with 19. Prince with 14. And Hardaway Jr. only had 7, man. And Ken Bazemore had 12 off the bench. You're not going to be able to keep up with these scores. I'm getting these points that I'm getting ready to tell you right now. You got Washington Wizards, man. They had 5 people in double figures, man. Morris 21, Porter 10, Gortat had 14, John Wall had 32, and Bradley Beal had 22. You know what I'm saying? Hey, those young cats, man, them young bulls of the Washington Wizards, man, you better watch out for them, man. Them cats is going to be somebody in the future. If they can keep their core together, there's somebody that's going to be forced to reckon with. You know what I'm saying? But I like I said before, man, they may sweep Atlanta, because I'm not seeing any production in the places where I need to see production at. You know what I'm saying? I'm not seeing anything. Dwight Howard had 7 points. Really? 7 points. Dwight, come on, bro. I don't even want to talk about you, man. I'm not even going to give you no shine, man. We're going to keep it moving, man. Go ahead and talk about the Milwaukee Bucks. Shocked me with a 97-83 win over the Toronto Raptors, man. The Greek Freak, Giannis had 28. You had Brogdon with 16, Middleton with 10. They had, Snell had 11. They had 4 starters in double figures, man. They had some bench play. Matthew Dellavedova, ain't heard that name since last year. He came off the bench and scored 11. Hey, that's good. That's good basketball, But the Raptors, they didn't really do what they needed to do. Serge Ibaka had 19. DeMar DeRozan had 17, but Kyle Lowry had 4 points, man. You can't get 4 points of production out of your point guard and expect to win, man. DeMar Carroll had 5 points. Come on, man. And then their bench, they had nobody. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, that's just how it goes, man. And I'm very surprised because I thought the Raptors were going to be able to handle that business, and they're not handling their business at all, man. So, I don't know. We're going to keep it moving. The Jazz versus the Clippers, man. This is what I've been trying to tell everybody, especially us here in LA, man. The Clippers, man, this is your last hurrah. This is your last chance. But y'all went ahead and lost to the Utah Jazz 97-95 on a last second shot from Joe Johnson. Of all people, Joe Johnson was killing everybody, man. Joe Johnson was putting it down. You know what I'm saying? Gordon Hayward had 19. George Hill had 16. But Johnson came off the bench and scored 21 points, man. He came off the bench and scored 21 points on 9 of 14 shooting, 3 or 4 from threes. And he hit that last second shot, man. He just going to the basket, and nobody was stopping him. Hey, if you're going to give somebody a clean lane like that, somebody who can shoot like Joe Johnson, who's somebody who in this league is a formidable scorer, that's on you, man. And the Clippers, their defense just fell apart at the end in the stretch. And if they keep doing that, man, they're going to be out of here. Once again, what did Chris Paul do, man? Let's go ahead and talk about them, even though we really shouldn't. Blake Griffin had 26, but he didn't play defense on that last play. Chris Paul had 25. DeAndre Jordan had 10 points. And that was it. Nobody else did nothing, man. Nobody else handled any other business. It is what it is. The Clippers, man, they just are so disappointed, man, with the amount of talent that they got. They just can't find a way to get things done, man. And unfortunately, it may be the last hurrah, like I've said 18,000 times. But I'm still going to watch the games, and I'm sure you are too if you're an avid basketball fan, man. So we'll see what happens at the end of the day. But until then, game on. Game on.
Still Crazy Productions, baby.
Then my grandmama gave me that chain.
What chain?
Yeah, what chain?